Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Glossy Philosophy. My name is Jansen Vindman and you are tuned in for an easy, breezy bronze makeup look. Today we are going to start once again fresh-faced. So I just washed my face and put my skincare on and now we're going to get into the tutorial. So again, I'm going to start with my eye base primer. And something I've been thinking about the last like 2 weeks is that my last tutorial was full of mixing lots of eyeshadows and I used like a million brushes, which absolutely go for it. But I thought I would do something a little bit more simple in case you're just starting off. So I'm going to go in with the Bobbi Brown color corrector, and this is in Bisque, and everything is going to be linked below. So if you miss one of the stripes underneath, don't worry, everything is linked below and where you can buy it and all that good stuff. And again, I'm going to bring that right up here because we all have a little bit of a blue and purple vein just from what's going on underneath the skin with the anatomy. All right, now I'm ready for my base, and the lip that I'm doing isn't anything crazy. I'm going to once again use Lisa Eldridge. I'm going to use Kitten Mischief and go lightly. So nothing crazy. It's not really a lip look. It's definitely more of an eye look this time. So I'm going to go in with my base first. And again, I'm pumping it on the back of my hand. I'm going to do a couple dots, and then first I'm just going to lightly press it into the skin, and I'm using a really fluffy brush. If I wanted more coverage, then I would go in with a much denser brush. The fluffier your brush, the less product you're putting on the skin. The denser your brush, the more product you put on the skin. And wherever you place the product, that's where you get the most color payoff. So I have most of my discoloration is through the center of my face, which is why I'm dotting there first and then blending out. I don't need like color correction towards my hairline, but if you do, then that's where you would want to place the product first and then blend it out from there. So whatever you want to correct or conceal, that's where you put your product, and then you just really lightly tap it out and then do really light strokes away from that. I always feel like my nose eats foundation, especially in the summer, because I do have my T-zone gets quite a bit more oily. So sometimes I'll even go in with a concealer brush just to make sure that I'm really getting that area. And you can see even with just the corrector, which is definitely a peachy color, kind of a peachy pink, more on the peach side for sure, that it almost looks like I already have concealer on, but we're going to go in with a little bit of the concealer just to brighten things up a little bit. And something I didn't mention before is when I take the concealer out of the jar, I get a lot of the excess. I take a lot of the excess off before I even bring it out because I don't want to goop it underneath my eyes. Because we want to do light layers. We can always build up later. If I was doing a super smoky eye, I would definitely go in with 2 coats of concealer, because by the end, after I've done my eye look for a smoky eye, there's usually been a little dropout, or maybe the concealer has settled a little bit more, and you need a little bit of a lift. And sometimes when you do a darker eye, you just need a little extra brightness under there. It's almost like you're just adding a little bit of extra contrast to the darkness that's on the eye to the lightness that's underneath the eye. But we are not doing a super dark eye. We're doing like, you know, I'm wearing a lemon sweater and I wanted a bronze eye kind of look. So nothing super crazy. I am going to do a liquid eyeshadow as my base, but first I'm going to go in with my bronzer and use that as an eyeshadow. And I'm going to use a really fluffy BK Beauty brush. And I'm just really lightly going to put that all over my lid. The cream shadow that I'm using is from Charlotte Tilbury, and it's almost like a moussey texture. I feel like it doesn't matter if you put it on top of a powder eyeshadow or if you just layer it. It just works no matter what. You'll notice that I haven't powdered yet, and that is kind of for the same reason as I was saying before. When you're focusing more on the eye, there is going to be a little bit of fallout, especially depending on how you blend and how many shadows and what shadows you're using. So don't powder until a little bit later. Plus, it lets everything just kind of set, and then you can see what you need to clean up. Because once you powder, you might not be able to go back in with your concealer, depending on the concealer that you are using. And I'm just going in with a second round of bronzer, and then I'm just kind of tapping out or lightly pulling on the outside of that line that I've just created. Okay, so now I am going to go in with this, and you can definitely use your fingers or you can use a brush. Just because of precision, I'm going to use a brush, and you don't need very much. She did such a great job with this. I'm going to start in the center of my lid, and I'm just going to go up to my crease. I'm doing patting, like a pat drag motion. If you wanted to just wear this all by itself, that would be beautiful. I mean, holy smokes, right? It definitely catches your attention when you're looking. This color is really great for pretty much anybody because it's kind of a neutral bronze, but it's really good for green and hazel eyes, which is why I have it. But it could definitely work for blue eyes and brown eyes as well. You might just want to change up your liner or kind of smoke it out with the different colors. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. This is really great, but so nothing on my brush. I'm just going to soften any cream shadow that kind of came up into my crease. Just a little bit. And I'm just really, really, really lightly kind of dragging at that. And you can see that my brush is definitely starting to pick up a little bit of that product and blend it out just a smidge. So I'm actually pretty happy with that, but with the way that my eyes are, I think I need a little bit more contrast. So I'm going to stick with the same brush. I'm going to use the side of my brush, and I'm going to go in with a very warm color. And I think, yeah, I'm going to keep it simple because that's what I said I was going to do. And I'm just going to pat that on the outer part of my eye on both sides. We don't want to make this too smoky because this is supposed to be our casual, I'm wearing a lemon sweater look. All right, I'm just going to run my brush over my cleaning cloth that I have. I'm going to go back in with the same color and now on the tip of my brush and just really kind of focus on the outer third of that eye. And you can see that it is starting to smoke out, but not so much that it's scary. Especially for an eye shape like mine. I have quite a bit of lid space, so keep that in mind as you're doing your own eye makeup. Take your eye shape and your lid shape into consideration, but if you kind of tweak these rules, they're kind of going to go with anything. So I just really lightly went in with the same color on the tip of my brush, and I'm pulling that down because what goes up must come down to have a nice kind of blown out look. Okay, great. So we definitely need something to separate the lashes from what's going on the lid. So we need to go in with our liner, and I'm going to do that right now with my gel liner on my angled brush. And you don't have to use a gel liner. You can absolutely go in with a pencil or an eyeshadow. Liquid is going to be the most intense and powder is going to be the softest, which is usually why I end with a powder. Now you might be thinking at this point that I'm doing my makeup a little bit differently than in my first tutorial, and that is because I knew that the eyes were going to be the focus. So whatever your focus is, that's what you want to spend your time on. And that is also what everything else has to balance around. And because this eyeshadow is super shimmery, we want to make sure that we're not putting too much shimmer all over the rest of the face. So then take a step back, make sure that everything is looking good. I'm going to pull this little flick out just a smidge. There, that's much better. Okay, I'm going to wipe off my brush because I'm going to use the same brush in my brows. I didn't want to do my brows yet because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to go too dark on the brows. Otherwise I would have a dark eye, dark brows. Could get a little scary. But I am going to line my upper waterline for sure. I know this looks really crazy on camera, but it's amazing. It's such a good trick. I learned that from Nars artist, by the way. Okay. Let's finish the eyes. I'm going to use a different mascara primer. I finished the Dior one. It is amazing. If you feel like you really want a lot of volume, the Dior is like unreal. The Lancome one I am also really enjoying. I like this brush better than the Dior, personally. Also, tip, for Halloween, if you're doing like an icy look and you need icy eyelashes, just really load up that primer. You do not need a white mascara. Just use mascara primer. And you want to do this pretty quickly. Otherwise, the primer is going to dry and it's going to get a little tough to put your mascara on. Okay, we're gonna go on with the other eye. I'm using the same mascara, the Bobbi Brown, my fave. Starting at the roots of the lashes. I used to work with a girl who would say wiggle, jiggle, and pull. And I always liked that idea. And then just really light taps on the lower lash line. Because usually you do want to put a little bit of black or a little bit of your mascara underneath. Otherwise, I always feel like it looks a little goofy. You don't want to, you know, really go for it unless that's kind of the look you're going for, but still. Now we're going to take a step back and we're just going to see how everything's looking. So I'm really happy with the eyes. I think that looks really great, but what I'm really noticing is the shine that's going on. So before I do my brows, I'm going to take down the shine and see if I want to add a little bit of extra shine around the orbital bone. So with my pale yellow powder, I'm just going to take away that shine because it was really distracting me, especially with shiny eyes. I really do love this powder. When she created this, she did such a good job. I'm actually going to go in with a fluffier brush to do my forehead. Just really, really lightly. Okay. Now I feel like I can see what else needs to be done. So obviously my brows need to be done. I'm going to go in with these two colors, just like last time. Definitely, but maybe with a lighter application. And then I'm going to switch to the darker color because this is an easy breezy. We're doing our makeup quick, but we want to look fabulous, kind of a makeup look. So that's something to remember too, is it definitely depends on what's going on in your day and it depends on what you're wearing. Don't feel like every day has to be this magical makeup moment. Once you kind of master the basics, it's just going to come together so quickly and you don't have to go va-va-voom every single day unless you want to. Okay, I'm going to use this blush in my MAC palette. And just really lightly tap that on my cheeks. I always like to start blush where the middle of my iris is. And then kind of dab back. Lots and lots of dabbing motions and then just like really quick and confident brush away. All right, I think I will add just a little bit of highlighter, mostly because I love this highlighter so much. So 3 dots, and I'm actually going to go in with my foundation brush and just really lightly tap that in. And I think that this will just really complement the bronze eye that I've done. Okay. Yeah, I think that looks really nice. Because we are doing more of a bronzy eye, I think it is totally appropriate to go back in with a bronzer and just kind of bronze your face a little bit. And I think I'm actually going to start in the forehead. Sweep it under my cheekbone and then do more of that 3E that we were talking about last time. Because again, easy breezy. you're wearing your lemon sweater or whatever fun sweater that you're wearing, and then everything just kind of comes together. You look bronzed, you look good. Now, the lips can be a little bit like, well, what do I do now? I'm kind of shiny on top. Should I be shiny here? I think that's totally your option. So let's start with the lipstick and see if we feel like we need a little bit more. So this is Kitten Mischief, and I'm feeling like I need more warmth. So I'm gonna add a little bit of that Go Lightly, and I think that that complements the look so much more. I can definitely see that my facial oils are peeking through, so I'm just really quickly, once again, gonna go in with my powder. Just through the center. And that is the look. So many less products and so many less steps. I hope you enjoyed this easy bronze eye tutorial. We use bronzer in a couple different ways, and we use many less products than the last time. And I just feel like a bronze eye is a quintessential makeup look for summer and just so fun with blues and blacks and whites and pretty much anything you can wear a bronze eye with. So I hope this was helpful. Again, everything's linked down below. I do beauty videos every Friday and fashion videos every Wednesday. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button, and I will see you very soon. Bye!